like surprise and stuff like that. And then I create the angry and stuff like that, and I create an in-between. Normally I use just 2 layers. I create an in-between of 2 layers. So this is angry right now, but if you can see, it switches from like the initial pose, from the default pose to that. So I just create one in between, just one in between, and then the main angry. So there's just 2 layers in each cycle. So that will make it actually smoother, instead of just creating just one and the character just moves from like the default position to like angry straight. Like it will not be very it won't be smooth. So creating an in between like that, just one in between, can make a lot of difference. So that's one thing we do. Yeah, creating stuff like this. So the reason why I do not rely on the software for stuff like this is because there's a bit of, if you want to create a super cartoony characters, you can rely on the software, because in that case you could just rely on the eye, like your tracker and your camera, and when you raise your eyebrow, the eyebrow raises and stuff like that. But if for me, when I'm creating characters, I like creating, like I like putting in extra effort to make the character a bit more realistic, and all this creating in betweens and creating cycle triggers will give you that kind of that traditional kind of look. It gives you that traditional kind of feature. So now I'm creating the this one eyebrow up, like inquisitive kind of face. So I create just the same way I create two layers for it. That is I create the main eyebrow raise, and then an in between, so that it just morphs through it, that kind of thing. So now that I've created everything that I need, basically I just replace them in their default layers. Normally, if you have a puppet that you've already created, you do not have to go through the rigor of like creating each layer over and over. So you could just draw the main things that you need. Like in my own case, the main thing I need for this character, I already have characters that are already like in hierarchical order. The characters are already labeled, are already named and stuff like that. So all I just do is I just replace the drawings. So in this case, that is what I did for the eyebrow, the iris, and the rest and stuff like that. So I just replaced them, instead of like renaming each layer and like recreating the character from scratch. It doesn't make any sense to do that when you have a pre-built character already. You can actually get this character, or any of my characters. All my characters are labeled the same. It starts with the character, that's the main character, the plus character, and then it goes down to the left profile, right profile, and the rest of that. So they are all already labeled, so you could just utilize that. So what I do now, in this case, I just replace an initial puppet with the current file. So it takes all the triggers from the pre-built, the initially built puppet. It just takes all the triggers into the new one. So now I do not have to rig this character all over from scratch. I just need to fix some few things that are not in place. That's exactly what I did in this case. So the iris, normally you create the iris above the eyes. So normally it's supposed to go above the eyes, but you use a mask to mask it within that eye layer. So when it goes up outside of that masked area, that portion that is out of the masked area becomes invisible. So it looks like the iris are actually inside the eyes. So that's a tip. So basically what I did here was just the same thing. For the blink, I made it a 2-layer kind of thing. So I created a cycle for it, just so that it's smooth when it's closing. I used the closest to closed and then closed like that, and then so it's smoother, instead of just creating one layer that the eyes just move from maybe wide to like close. It doesn't make it look very good. So in this case, that is what I did. So I went on to, what else did I do? This is kind of a summary. I actually created a long version of this tutorial, but I noticed that people actually like staying for long content like that. So it's just better I break it down, so you just get the major information that you need, all the basic information you need wrapped up in a very, very short video. So okay, so Okay, I'm actually done rigging the eyes and the facial features and stuff like that. What I'm actually doing now is creating other things, because this is actually somebody's work. So I was supposed to create the character puking and stuff like that. So that is what I'm doing currently. But I'm done with the eye triggers and and the brows and whatever. Okay, I get asked a lot, like, why don't you just rely on most of what you create these things from, like instead of like relying on draggers and relying on like the prebuilt features of this software. Why am I just creating? Why do I just create cycle triggers and stuff like that? Why not just go into other software and animate? Of course, I do that. I do animating with Blender Grease Pencil when I'm doing frame by frame. There are certain animations that I cannot, not really. There are certain like certain videos that it's not like you cannot do it on Character Animator, but it's just a bit more it's better to use software, other software, not professional software, because Character Animator is actually a professional software, but like other software that cater to those kind of work. Like I've actually done frame by frame on the CH. That was like a year ago or so. I actually did frame by frame animation. Like every single movement was not a replay from beginning to the end. So what I ended up doing was I created every single frame in Adobe Illustrator, because I don't know, I don't know why I did that, but I actually created every single frame in Adobe Illustrator, and then I moved it to Character Animator, and then I just played all the frames. So I think we were about like like 400 and something frames I had to create for just that listen, which was actually fun to the to the fun experiment. But I would say you should stick with certain softwares for those kind of work. Like if you're actually creating okay, right now let me just go into what I'm doing right now. I'm testing the character, I'm testing the blink, the brow, so okay, I think I tested everything, but let me go back to what I'm saying. So certain softwares are just well suited for those kind of stuff, and for frame by frame. Okay, now I'm testing the eyebrow, as you can see. So everything is working fine. The iris, I'm using draggers to drag it. You could also use your tracker if you want. So I have like 1 minute left, so let me just complete what I was saying. What I was saying is that there are softwares that are well suitable for those kind of stuff. Like if I'm doing frame by frame, I mostly use Blender Grease Pencil, or I stick with Toon Boom. Initially I used to use Toon Boom, but now I'm mostly going into using Grease Pencil because it's free and it's it has plenty of facilities, and I do 3D, so sometimes it's better to just merge everything in one software. So but you could do literally anything on this software, especially with the use of cycle triggers. So just take advantage of that, especially when you want the animation to look very traditional. So that's basically it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please give us a like, it will really help us to reach more people, and subscribe. Bye for now.